Welcome to Takshashila Gurukul channel. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please subscribe immediately, press the bell button and write your comments and feedback. Share with your friends as much as possible. We provide online Kundalini Raja Yoga initiation and Kundalini activation in 6 months.
40. The state of liberation is indicated. The state of liberation is mentioned, I will live, I will hear. Shasimoli explained the state of liberation to his 6-faced son with compassion. Kartike folded his 12 hands and bowed his head at the feet of Lord Shiva, and prayed, O Leaf God, O Unbounded One, grant me the state of liberation that is the realization of the self. Sangaritha, the king of auspiciousness, saw the face of his son, who was adorned with the moon and stars, and smiled. The eternally auspicious organ of liberation began to speak. Listen, cave, I will be alone in the 3 times as a truth. For my pleasure, the 4-faced Brahma, Hari, and Rudra are engaged in creation, existence, and dissolution. O Bala, I am the all-pervading soul, the timeless, the pure and original one. Although I am omnipresent, I have 4 names to reside in the 4 places of the body during my pastimes. I am the Turya in everyone's head, the Taijasa in the throat, the Prajna in the chest, and the Vishwa in the eyes, thus I alone remain. My original and true place is in everything without difference. There is no place in me. I am at the tip of a thorn or at the end of a sesame seed. I am the perfect form. All the worlds and time-bound objects are imagined in me. Just as a rope or a garland appears as a snake, the feeling of life arises and sinks in me, the soul. This is a source of sorrow for everyone. The 3 worlds, which were thought to be the body of illusion, spread out like a mass and gave a dream of happiness. He who always stands as a witness to the manifestations of the soul is the liberated one. Only the state of liberation in the state of the one-pointed self is called. The illusion born in me does not let me know myself. When I know myself, that illusion dissolves within me. I will say it in another way. When I know myself and say, Aham Brahmamasmi, Maya dissolves. Brahma Aham Brahmamasmi, without being different from Brahman, approach Brahman without ceasing. The veil of illusion that has been created for your due to ignorance will be destroyed by self-knowledge. 7. He who says, Aham Brahmamasmi, whether knowingly or not, is liberated. O Tarala, first listen to the parable. If you put fire in a dry bundle of hay, whether knowingly or not, the bundle will only burn. The fire burns quickly when it is thrown into a deliberate fire. The fire burns slowly and gradually without being aware of it. Similarly, whether knowingly or unknowingly, he who meditates on, I am Brahman, becomes Brahman himself. The ascetic with the power of the Vairagya will destroy his life force and become Brahman. The one who is the leader will say, I am Brahman, and his life force will be destroyed and he will attain the status of Brahman. Just as the moon gradually fades in Krishna's eyes, the karma of those who have performed it in infinite births will diminish. Do you have any doubt in the theory that by meditating on the self that I am Brahman, the forest of ignorance of life will be burned away? 11. Then Shanmukha folded his hands and asked a question. How can the certainty, Sarvam Khalvidam Brahman, be established? Sometimes Brahman is considered real, sometimes the world is considered true. My mind is wavering without certain knowledge. O leaf like Niranjan, tell me the solution to this. My son, if 2 pieces of a lotus flower are crushed together, fire will be produced by the collision, but the fire will not be produced because the 2 pieces are in different places. Similarly, the self, by continuously churning the churn of Brahman, Pranava, without leaving any stone unturned, will the fire of certain knowledge arise within it, saying, everything within itself is Brahman. By reading the scriptures, one does not gain true knowledge in the form of a picture. When one worships the self, the karma and the knowing Brahman, who is the one who knows and understands, one should cultivate the knowledge that, I am the one who is. Similarly, the virtuous being who is freed from the punishment of the Guru becomes free. Liberation does not happen to other beings. Although all beings are covered with sorrow, delusion, many doubts, and penances, only the virtuous being who has passed the veil of knowledge becomes free. The rest of the beings are not free, because the tree of their own existence is destroyed, they do not become free. The feeling that only he in whom the imaginary distinction of ignorance has been destroyed can become free. 16. Explanation of the liberation of the soul, the knowledge of the self, the pure supreme being, is the freedom from the bondage of self-realization. When the yogis themselves are suspended in the pure feeling of the Supreme Soul, then only they become eternally pure Buddhas, liberated great gods. By yoga, the mind has been destroyed, the mind has been forgotten, and the mind has been forgotten, and the mind has been found in the state of complete bliss, without any trace of previous memories. The body has been forgotten, all its visible forms are called Brahman, the 6 forms of sorrow and delusion have been lost, and the self is immersed in the bliss of the other world, shining like a lamp of eternal light, inside and outside. The one who is silent like a hidden gem, without knowing the existence of the world, is the one who is free from the world. Just as a treasure of water is based on the existence of the hidden gems, the one who is free from the world, without being the cause of the world, is the refuge of enlightenment for their appearance. The enlightened one does not think that the world is separated from him like the waves of the ocean. He who is free from the burden of his mind, free from the association of the odors of the scriptures, and free from the disturbance of the fire of happiness, sorrow, and fire, is the one who is free from life. The full radiance of the Paranjyoti of the soul shines in his eyes without interruption. Hunger and thirst are the causes of the soul, death is the cause of the body, and sorrow and the torment of the mind are the causes of the 6 evils. He is not sick and exhausted in the suffering of the 6 evils, and he is not distracted by the suffering of the bodily functions, and is immersed in the pleasures of the world, and is satisfied with the joy of the teachings. The sages praise him as the one who is free from life. The one who is free from life does not see the difference between the transcendental nature and the sciences. He who has forgotten the state of life, which is the enclosure and the separation, and who does not know that the other is permanent and unmanifest, is the perfect source of knowledge. All that appears is vanquished, the cause is the object of knowledge, and the knower is the knower. When the shadow of these 3 faces appears in him, he is free from life. He has the feeling that there is no illusion of the 3 faces. Thus he has forgotten the beloved association of the 3 faces and is free from self-pity. He is far from illusion. As long as there is a desire for contemplation, there is contemplation of happiness and sorrow, or remembrance. But for the mindless yogi or the soulless one who has no mind, there is no doubt, no excessive feelings, no illusions of sight or sound. There is no disturbance of the senses, he is free without any possessions. Danduga. He is in a state of contentless bliss like a sleeper. A person who is asleep has no external noise. A person who is asleep sleeps happily without any idea of where and how he is sleeping. He is lost in sleep, and he is aware of external and internal sounds. He is everywhere. Forgetting what he was, he sleeps in true bliss. Similarly, the soulless one who has witnessed the 3 states of waking life experiences the unique bliss beyond states. The 3 states of the school, the subtle, and the cause are filled with the radiance of the soul of the freed one. Forgetting the distinction between time and day and night, he rests in the true abode of the timeless world. His existence is aniketa, meaning the eternal. The liberated soul, having known the infinite, abandons the worldly affairs, is free from the 3 defilements, burns the 3 egos of passion, ego, and crosses the path of sinful greed. He transcends the illusion of time and action, conquers the world, and is in the bliss of joy. The liberated soul, without showing his knowledge to the ignorant, remains in his natural state without any pride in knowledge. The omniscient one, who manifests the 3 states, shines by himself as the self-luminous light. Not knowing anything, not showing the darkness of meditation and silence, that is liberation from life, the wise one who has destroyed the lamp of self-conceit. I am the poverty of the soul, I am the natural nature of the Supreme Soul. The great soul who is certain that there are 8 kinds of soul teachers, and who always experiences the happiness of the soul, is the soul free. Disease, suffering, pride, of caste, and reproaches that come from the control of fate are not for him, and he remains silent and sees the body's defects as witnesses. He who is thus untainted is the soul free. When words are hidden, the association of illusion is hidden. When illusion is hidden, the mind is destroyed, and the knowledge of the real thing becomes firm. For this reason, he is soft, and he gives pleasure without hesitation, being the true self alone, and this is the soul freedom. 32. The life-giving flower is like the sky, untainted, free from filth, shining everywhere as one, forgetting only speech, being a witness to everything. Be assured that the Supreme Lord, who is in this constant state, is the Great One. My son, if a flower is near a crystal that is sparkling clean, its color will shine in the crystal. The beauty of the flower belongs to the women who wear it, but their association does not belong to the crystal. Similarly, in the life-giving flower, there is no brightness, no attachment. Even if a green violet touches it, the life-giving flower does not touch it like one who says, I am the body, but has the qualities of reflection within himself. If foolish people say, the mind and actions follow the sin and it is applied to itself, will you believe it? You, who know the soul, are called a sinful soul, a virtuous soul. If the karma accuses you of unrelated good and bad deeds, what is the value of their words? When a thief broke into the house of a Vaishya, the wall fell on him and he died there. Like the story of the owner of the house, who was arrested, accused of, this man has killed the one who came into the house, and impaled him, see below. For whom is the application of the good and bad deeds done under your protection by false actions? Is it right to tie a knot in the soul, without actions, instead of telling the actions? The story of the Komatiga. In a city, an unwise king was carrying out the duties of the kingdom. One night, a thief broke into a wealthy man's house, and the wall fell on him and he died. The thief's wife then complained to the king that the Vaishya had killed her husband. The king called the Vaishya and asked, why didn't you build the wall stronger? The merchant said, Sir, what should I do? It was Uppara's fault that the wall was not built stronger, and I am innocent. The king called Uppara and said, I will punish you for your carelessness. Uppara was astonished at the king's recklessness and said, What should I do, king? The merchant was selling some valuable thing in the shop opposite that wall. My attention was drawn to the commotion of fixing the price for the customer. That is why it happened, he replied. Knowing that it was true, the king impaled that Vaishya. If, like this example, one were to attribute the sins and virtues born of karanas to the pure soul, it would be considered foolish. The soul is unblemished, unborn, and shining is pure and unique. The rays of the soul's sun appear and disappear in the form of karanas. Karanas are the seen, the soul is the true vision. Why are sins and virtues attributed to the soul? The words of the sinner are false, both virtue and sins to live a life of pleasure with the pussy lovers. What is the true form, the bliss of the non-dual? You are forever unblemished. Like light, darkness, and darkness, which are not mixed with light, know that you are free from all sins and virtues. Anubhavasara, 7-7. Why does the mind rise? What has happened to you? Why do the senses wander to their own objects? The one who is free from the company of karanas has no company. You are the one who is free from the life of the Supreme Being. You are the witness to the karana dharmas of knowledge and forgetfulness. Why is the liberated one in complete samadhi without external movements? Why is he in the enjoyment of women? Why does he bathe and enjoy the evening sun? Why are the movements of the mind constant? For the liberated one who is truly mindful, there are no karana dharmas. There are no such things as precepts, prohibitions, sins, virtues. What is the use of speech for the liberated one? 40. Shanmukha's question, O Supreme Lord, I was pleased to hear that the liberated one is immovable, unattached, full of bliss and visible to the senses. You have told me that even though his senses wander in things, he is blameless, and there are no restrictions on his self. This is natural for the liberated one. Now my doubt is it because a yogi does not have the control of his senses to become pure senses, to ejaculate in a dream, is he blameless? Answer. The fault of pure senses that you have mentioned arises from the dream of a man in a dream due to the association of a woman in a dream. Since dreams are false, a yogi is blameless. The fault of dreams is the nature of the body. Whether he is a yogi or a bogi, his body is natural to the body. Even if the body is punished, the body is never pure. It is not possible. If a man's thigh falls on his thigh in sleep, the senses recover and ejaculate. The time when the senses are aroused is a dream. The sensual pleasure experienced is also a dream. the woman he imagines in sleep is a dream, otherwise, the senses are false. If a dream is true, then the person who took a loan, 100 varas of gold coins, in a dream will have to repay his loan after waking up. He who says that the experience of a dream is good for a conscious man is a fool. Although the defect of a dream is a physical condition, if a yogi controls his senses, there is no defect. With calmness, the illusion of the mind, that is, the smell of pleasure in things, disappears. Therefore, the yogi should always practice the discipline of restraint and restraint. Through practice and detachment, the illusion of the world's reality is removed and the defects of dreams are hidden. The yogi feels the pleasure of a dream, and even if the senses fall in a dream, there is no harm to him. After waking up, the yogi is not infatuated with the pleasures of a dream. Just as the dream of a dream is a pussy, but the ejaculation of semen seems obvious, so the progress of a yogi and the teachings of his guru and disciples may seem imaginary, but the liberation that is born for him, the true happiness, should be known to be true. 46. The life of a yogi who is a teacher. Kanda, it is better for a yogi to practice alone in solitude, and it is better to spend time in teaching with worthy disciples, but it is difficult to find the masters of the philosophy. Being with the unruly and uneducated is a hindrance to one's attainment of knowledge. If a virtuous wife is told to make sweet palla, she will make sour palla and serve it, and if she is told to put the offering of Shraddha in front of the ox, she will throw it in the pit. If foolish disciples do not play with virtuous men in this way, they will hinder the knowledge of that virtuous soul. Once the Guru told his disciple, "Do as 4 people tell you." Thinking that those 4 were telling him, "Work like a Guru, that means you will also become a Guru," the wicked disciple paid attention to his Guru's wife. This is the practice of giving Gurudesh without knowing the disciple's qualifications. Therefore, like a wicked woman, one should reject wicked disciples without trusting them. Gurus should accept service only from virtuous disciples and give Gurudesh to such ones. One should not test their authority and give them blessings, but should not give teachings to everyone who comes to him, saying, "Give me teachings." Listen to this parable. How can a teacher's teaching be ruined if he teaches a profane person who is not devoted to Brahman? Once the teacher asked a shepherd to recite the Vedas. The disciple, who had the manners of a shepherd, began to utter the words, "Husma, hasi tathar," while reciting the Vedas. A teacher who teaches without checking his authority thus makes the one he teaches a part of the forest, i.e., the disciple is liable for worldly pleasures and otherworldly glory. The teaching given by a teacher in a huff, "I will make the poor and the unfortunate like myself," is useless, like water on hot iron. If the teacher wants his disciples to become devoted to Brahman like himself, he should first tell them difficult and despicable tasks, and should harass them with harsh words. Their minds should be examined in many ways, their conceit should be shaken, and then they should be given the Brahmapadesha. Only one who considers himself liberated from life can become a Guru. A disciple should not count the qualities, or profession, of the Guru. He who counts the qualities, or vices, of the Guru will enter the great hell. There is no doubt about this. Know that the Shruti says this as true, and this is my belief. Even if an intelligent disciple gets an enlightened Guru, intelligence is not the cause of liberation. The Guru's knowledge and service are not the cause of liberation, but the qualities of the Guru, the eternally pure Buddha matter, the witness of all intelligences and beyond the 3 gunas. Therefore, a disciple who is devoted to the service of the Guru praises his Guru is very intelligent, even if he does not have intelligence. 56. History of the disciples of Thakku in the ashram of Vashishta. 3 crore disciples lived in the great asceticism of sage Vashishta. They used to chant the Vedas, chant mantras, read scriptures, and perform japatapa day and night in the mountain caves that were free for everyone. Some were eager to follow the teachings of the Guru. Many of them wore ashrudrakshas, held rosaries, and adorned themselves with jatamukuta, performed virasana, siddhasana, rudrasana, kurmasana, and kamalasana on Darbha, Vyapu, and Krishnajanas, and they used to perform the asana by leaning their bodies on yoga sticks and yoga mats, and eating kandamul and taraj. Seeing the great austerity of the entire devotee group, Vasishtha was overjoyed and left his hermitage to go to Sri Ramachandra to test who among them had attained liberation and who were in doubt. The entire group of disciples of the sages surrounded the Guru and followed him. When they were alone, Vasishtha said to Ramachandra, O king, how many are the true disciples and how many are the false disciples in this assembly of sages? Tell me a method to test them. Rama replied, Sir, is it possible for all of you to marry the liberated woman? Why are you in this state of seclusion? As I thought, you are suffering from a terrible disease and you should lie here. I will tell all my disciples that only if you bring water from the Devagange and take a bath, your disease will be cured, said sage Vasishtha, laughing and sleeping in the king's bedroom. Hearing the news of the Guru's bed, all the disciples became agitated and started trying various medicines. Pretending that the disease was not getting better, the Guru told his disciples, Your medicines will not cure my serious disease. If my disease is to go away, you must bring water from the Devagange and make it drink for me. The disciples, holding the water pot, went in different directions to bring the Gangodaka. They went far and wide into the forest without seeing each other. All the disciples, who were tired on the way, gathered together and thought, if the Guru's wealth is now suffering from such a serious disease, who can save it? Even if we were so tired and brought Gangodaka, it would not be of any use. Therefore, it would be better to turn back. On the way, they filled the clean water of the well in a pot and named it Gangajal. They decided and returned to the palace to say the same. Meanwhile, the devotees who had faith in the Guru with a pure and calm mind were moving forward, when a fire engulfed the forest on the way. They were not afraid, saying, Let us once again dedicate our fear to that Guru, who is truly Vasishtha Muni in all forms. They walked forward with courage. The forest gave way to the truly loyal devotees. Bhagirathi appeared in the distance. They bathed with great enthusiasm, filled the pot with water and returned to Ayodhya in remembrance of the Guru. The disciples who had come before them lied and gave the water they had brought to Sri Rama, saying, This is Gangodaka. Rama offered it to the Guru and made him drink it and asked, Swami, has your disease gone? Vasishtha, who was wise for 3 times, said, Sir, this is not Gangodaka, but the water of some lake and well on the way. This will not cure my disease. He thought to himself, Hara Hara, I believed that I was free from these deceivers. They deceived the Guru with their outward devotion, wearing the attire of Shiva. After that, the true devotees, wondering when they would see the feet of their Guru, hurriedly came and offered the Gangodaka they had brought to Sri Ramachandra. Sri Rama took it with love and offered it to the Guru, and as soon as Vasishtha Muni got up with joy and sat down, held Ramachandra's hand and went inside. Then Sri Rama said, Swami, the signs of a true disciple have now become apparent to you. All the disciples who were with the Guru are liberated. They alone are the ones who understand your teachings. How is it possible for everyone to attain Brahman knowledge? He said. Pleased with Rama's words, Vasishtha went to austerity with his disciples. My dear, I have explained the state of liberation to you. May the state be granted to you with my blessings. May you become a great soul, may you become a fire for the gods, may you become the eternal soul, may you continuously enjoy the happiness of liberation. This matter should not be told to the wicked who forget the Guru's words and commit sins, to the lowly humans who cause obstacles to the pious, and to the chandalas who harm those who do good. Asterisk in this way, in order to grant the state of liberation from the deity, Shanmukha then disappeared from his body, hid his Karanabhava, and remembered the Supreme Being, the Supreme Soul, with pure devotion and devotion. 83.